Okay, what if every single anime in ASTD got a new unit? Doesn't matter how many units are in there already, they got a brand new unit. My main rule is they can't have a pre-existing version. So no Naruto 6 star, no Vegeta 6 star, no insert character better star. That is the only rule. So I have lists of what I think are the most likely, and then with animes I haven't seen, like Fairy Tail and Black Clover, I don't really want to watch, so I'm not, I don't know the characters at all, so I kind of just search up characters and just said one of them. And then there's animes like Berserk and Fate and Yu Yu Hakusho, which I want to watch, but I haven't yet. So I kind of just picked a character. Um, Especially like Tokyo Ghoul. I know nothing about Tokyo Ghoul except that Kaneki is a ghoul, and I don't want to spoil myself that a character's a ghoul. So I just picked a character that I knew, which was, well, you'll see, because that's later down the line. So for Dragon Ball, I have Beerus. He is technically in the game as a boss, but I don't count that. And I think Beerus would be really fun and interesting. Now, personally, I would prefer Cell. I like Cell a lot, but Beerus is a better character, and I feel like he would make more sense because you could just do a 5 or 6 star. Like, you could have a 5 star, which needs him and Whis, and then you get the 6 star. Cell, I feel like you would have to do Imperfect Cell 4 star, Perfect Cell 5 star, and then you could do Super Perfect Cell 6 star, which isn't really one unit. Beerus only has 2 units just because the whole he's strong, but he could just be a 5 star. And then that I'm not really going to talk about too much how I think he would play out because it's Beerus. I'd probably make a video on just Dragon Ball units that could be added. So no point spoiling that video. I have videos planned, can't ruin them. Next for Naruto is Tsunade. We have all the Sanin besides Tsunade. And I would prefer to see Sasori, Datara, some other unit like that. Especially like Hinata and Neji. Like, where are they? They're not in the game for some reason. I do think Tsunade would be more likely, and she could probably heal the base. Be like a much better Whis that actually deals damage. And maybe she can have a manual where she uses the curse mark like thingy where her body rapidly gets repaired. And it could just make her attack like every 0.1 second, double the damage that she does or something for like 30 seconds. Maybe less, because that may be a bit too OP. Oh, I don't know what her stats would be. I'm not here to say stats, I'm just here to say units. Next is One Piece. Now I was thinking of like Aokichi or one of the other admirals, which I would really like more admirals in the game. But I feel like Chopper would be more likely. And obviously Chopper would be another healer. Obviously, like, his job is to be a medic. But you need more straw hats. Maybe Brooke could be instead of Chopper, but or um, Robbie. I the cyborg's name. I forget his name at this very moment. I don't know why I'm forgetting him. Uh, It's something with like Robert or something like that. I know that. But I feel like Chopper's more likely because it was added earlier, and I feel like Chopper's more liked. I don't know, I haven't seen any One Piece popularity thingies in a bit. I know Shanks is really popular and he's added. I would definitely put Shanks really high, but he's already added. So, can't do that. Next is My Hero. And you would think, oh, probably Dabby, like, he already has his model, could just be total, he could just be like Endeavor, but single Ace. That's like, who could he be again? Ace. He could just be Ace, but ground blue flames. But I think Uraka would be better for the simple fact of she could have her manual be float and it turns characters into hybrids. Okay, now Merlin's better. He can freeze flying units. Now Endeavor's better. He can hit flying units. Now, yes, they could just do an orb. I think an orb would be better. You know, could potential video ideas. Haha. I will not give my input on orbs. That can be another video. But I think Uraka would just be nice. Because it could be like a 4-star. Should be more like Merlin. And I shall just make a unit float for like 30 seconds with cooldown 1 minute. And then they're hybrid for that 30 seconds. And then 30-second cooldown. So it could just be copy and place Merlin. Could also be circle AoE. Because she could like make the rocks float and then send them flying at the enemy. So they could literally just copy and paste Merlin's code, but instead of range boost, hybrid, and probably change stats. So that'd be pretty easy, I personally think. But I'm not game dev, so I can't say how easy. For Bleach, I don't know much about Bleach, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of confused why I didn't put Aizen or Kisaki. I put Orihime. I'm pretty sure my thinking was, well, we have Uru, so why don't we have Orihime? But now that I'm remembering, Aizen would be better, or Kisaki. One of them would be much better. I would like to have them much more than Orihime. So Aizen, guys, not Orihime. For JoJo, I have Jolene, and it's because Jolene is getting Part 6 animated. Well, it only makes sense to have Jolene set up. Not set up, added. I think when December comes around, ASTD will probably add Jolene and Made in Heaven. Maybe not Made in Heaven. They may add White Snake Poochie and Sea Moon Poochie. But I think Jolene is a must. And I think it only makes sense. Then we would have a lot more Joestars, and it makes sense because of the whole anime coming out soon. Which, can't wait. Next I have AOT, Attack on Titan. I think Mikasa. Yeah, you could go like, oh, Beast Titan, or, Female Titan, or Armored Titan, but I feel like a lot of those would just be Summoners. But Mikasa would be like Levi, and we only have, Levi's the only Slayer corpse thingy, not Slayer corpse, only Titan Hunter. Whatever, I forget their names. It's been a few months since I watched AOT. But you know, the Scout. Levi's the only one there. Eren summons, Armin becomes Colossal, Irwin buffs, and then the Warhammer Titan isn't even one of them. So it would make sense to have Mikaska. She could just be Levi, but 5-star. So for Hunter x Hunter, I have Hisoka. And Hisoka, I think, is really interesting because he could work a lot like Merlin and freeze them. And that's the only reason why he works like Merlin. I'm just using Merlin as example way too much. Probably because he's right here, so he's in my mind. But, I think not Merlin. Hisoka could be a fun one. Because we have Kilowatt, we have Gon. And then we have Silva and Nero. Of all Hunter x Hunter units that are possible. Those two before Hisoka. Them before Chrollo. Them before Kurapika. Kinda before Leorio. I was thinking for a second. Is Leorio good enough to even get a unit? I'm not sure. But, yeah, I'm kind of confused how Hisoka's not added yet. He could probably freeze them in place with bungee gum. Did you know that bungee gum has the properties of rubber and gum? Next is 7 Deadly Sins. Now, I think Ban would work. Or Bon, however you want to say it. I know, in the Japanese version, from my memory, it's been like a year since I've seen all 3 seasons of 7 Deadly Sins. And I skipped the 4th season. Just because I didn't feel like watching it. I don't know why. If I remember correctly, Medolius says Bon and not Bane, like Batman's villain, but more Bon. So I'm not sure how you truly pronounce it, so I'm just going to call him Bon because that's funnier. And I feel like Bon could just be a summoner. He could probably just... What could be interesting is if his thing is infinite HP, but he can only kill up to 50 units, and it takes like 2 minutes for him spawn in. So when he does spawn in, it's like, yes. But it's only like 50 units. It would be great for damage farming. And you could send him away from Irwin, so that saves space around, wherever you set up. So, he would just spawn. Could only have like 1 that can be placed. Because I feel like that's fair, and like every 2 minutes. It just runs down. And I'm talking more about him, because I'm less likely to do a video on that anime. Because I don't know 7 Deadly Sins that well. Next, I have Demon Slayer and Inosuke. How is Inosuke not in here? Like Sanemi is, and Rengoku is. Actually, Rengoku does make sense, because Mugen Train. But Sanemi before Inosuke? Inosuke is the best character in Demon Slayer. You can't change my mind. How is he not in the game? It's like, why? Why ain't he? He really should. Fairy Tail. I know nothing about Fairy Tail besides I don't enjoy it. So let's go with Lucy. I think she has fire powers. Though I may be getting confused with Natsu. No, Natsu has fire. I'm not sure about Lucy. Does Lucy even have powers? I think she does. For Black Clover, I've seen like, I want to say 4 episodes, maybe 7. I just couldn't watch it. Asta was too annoying. I think if Asta was more like Naruto, it would be fine, because they're very similar in being loud and annoying. But at least Naruto's more likable to me. I have to say, if you can stand Asta, impressive. So I just put Noelle, because she's the only character that I know that isn't Yuno. Why couldn't Yuno be the main character, man? Yuno is good. I like Yuno. I don't like Asta. Next I have Mob Psycho 100. I have to say Ritsu would make sense. Because I don't really see any other character really getting in before Ritsu. He's a main character. He influenced both seasons to my memory. It's been like 2 years since I've seen Mob Psycho, or whenever the second season came out, like a month afterwards, I watched second season because I had watched the first season before. So Ritsu's most likely. Next I have Magi. Never seen Magi before, know nothing about it. So I just went with Alibaba. Because I looked at a poster like thingy for it, and Alibaba was right next to Aladdin, giving me the vibes of main character. Therefore, important enough to have a character. Yeah, that's my reasoning for him. Next, I have Full Metal Alchemist, and I was thinking of Wendy, or not Wendy. Is it Wendy? Again, it's been a while since I've seen Full Metal or read Full Metal. I've actually not watched it. I read it and I didn't finish it because it's manga. Manga costs more than anime subscription, and I only want to read the manga because manga is really good. So there's my excuse. But I went with Scar because I feel like Scar can be used much better and would be much more fun because it's Scar. He's like one of the best characters. So, yeah, that's my reasoning on Scar. After Full Metal, I have Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Megumi could work, because Megumi. And I don't really see having Jujutsu Kaisen characters without Megumi. Because Megumi. Who doesn't like Megumi? It's like Sasuke, but has Kakashi's ability to summon dogs. Like if Kakashi just taught him how to summon dogs instead of Chidori. Which, not gonna lie, summoning dogs is pretty cool. I like dogs a lot. So, next we have Soul Eater, which know nothing about Soul Eater, so I did Soul Eater Evans, because he looked pretty familiar. He looked like a main character to me. And his name has Soul Eater in it, so he has to be somewhat important. So, yeah, it has to be somewhat important. I don't know how he's important, but he has to be important. SAO, I did Suna. I know nothing about SAO. I will watch it one day, but not now. Toriko, I know nothing about Toriko. I just searched up Toriko characters, and Midora looked the coolest out of the 4 characters I looked at. I'm not even sure if I spelled Toriko right, because Toriko himself didn't even pop up. So for all I know, that's not even a Toriko character. But whoever Midora is, he looks pretty cool. He reminds me of Madara because of his hair. Next is Berserk. Again, I don't want to spoil myself with Berserk. I really want to read Berserk. And so I just searched up Berserk characters, learned of the League of Eagles or whatever it's called, and then I just picked Griffin, or League of Griffin or whatever. I just picked that guy. He seems powerful enough. He made a league of something. Yu Yu Hakusho, I went with He. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Again, never seen Yu Yu Hakusho. I need to. Made by the same guy who made Hunter x Hunter, and that's amazing. I just picked him because he's the only other character I know. Fate, I went with Shiro. All I know is he has unlimited blade works, and I know that would be really OP and probably work like Gilgamesh, but foil-y. Saitama would obviously rep One Punch Man. Like, how is only Jino and Tatsumaki in it? At least add more heroes. Maybe 5-star Jino. Maybe even Boris, I think, is the bad guy of season 1. I've only seen season 1. One Punch Man could be cool. I think everyone would like One Punch Man. And honestly, how I could see him working is he could be like Kira. He could just work as Kira. Or he could do the same amount of damage as the opponent's HP, kind of like how I suggest Bon. You know, Bon does the same amount of damage as the unit. He can only kill 50. Saitama could do the same thing, but it's like every minute. And there can only be one. Same thing with Bon. So you could put him like at the very end, so then he could be like last measure. He's your last chance of survival. That could work pretty well. Next, I have Konosuba. I feel like Kazuma would work. Like, how do you not have the main character Konosuba? Now, annoyingly, I don't want them to add any Konosuba characters for a simple fact of Aqua, there's only 5,000, so even if they add Darkness and Kazuma, can't complete the 4 main characters, because one of them's exclusive. Hope they add like another exclusive version with a code. It's just like Aqua Summer. It's like her in a bikini or something, just so then they can give away Aqua. But it's not Aqua herself, so then they can get away with there only being 5,000. That would make sense, honestly. It makes sense, like Konosuba. It wouldn't be surprising if a character wore a bikini, so like you could make that work. Next is Kill la Kill. I'm going with Satsuki. Or Satsuki. How do you pronounce her name? The big bad guy. I think. She seems like she's the main villain. Maybe there's another character behind the scenes or something. I don't know. Next I have Death Note. And well, it's kind of hard to do a Death Note character. Because, well, you either have generic policeman or person with the book to kill everyone. And, well, we already have a person with a book to kill everyone. So I think Misa could work like Light Yagami, but half the cooldown because she has the Shinigami eyes. Shimigami eyes. Shimigami eyes. I think that's how you pronounce Trigun, I know nothing about Trigun, so I searched up Trigun characters. Saw some guy called Nicholas D. Wolfwood. I went, that guy looks cool, and his middle name's D. And as someone who likes One Piece, I know the power of D, or will of D, not power of D. The will of D makes you a very strong character. So, you know, will of D, man. Next is Inuyasha. Have no reason to watch Inuyasha. I don't want to, and I don't care to. I'm just have no reason to. So I just searched up Inuyasha character and got Miroku. They appeared second to Inuyasha, so I went perfecto. ReZero Subaru could work a lot like Love Train, but instead of pushing all characters back before you die, you could die and then gain HP again, and probably like have everyone on the map die, but no damage is dealt. Like, you don't gain any damage. All your units stay. Everything stays, and it goes back to wave 1. So, if you're like leaderboard, you could, it would not help for leaderboard, because, you know, it resets your wave. But it could let you reset, and then maybe have a better chance, because now all your units are killing these weaker ones. It would be really good for damage grinding, and probably only one can only be used once. Like, ooh, I can get Itadori. I'm not going to. I'm going to save for summer thingy, summer bundle. But hey, I can get summer Itadori if it's about to end. Never mind that though. I'm sure Subaru could be like one-time use thing, like server-wide cooldown, and then have it like 3 hours. Because no one's gonna be able to play for 3 hours until like really, really late in this game's life. Like, I'm sure one day 3 hours is possible, but by then I'm sure Subaru would be forgotten. Everyone would be making fun of Subaru like they do with Naruto Beast Cloak right now. Next, I have Kill la Kill. Wait, I actually did read 0 after Kill la Kill. I messed up my list. Oh well. Next, I have Dr. Sloan. I went with Gen Asagiri. And though I could have done another character, number one, Gen's just a great character. Number two, I think he can fill a really important role. We have characters that buff characters' damage. Irwin. We have characters who buff characters' range. Merlin. But we do not have a character that makes characters faster. We'll have Gen do it. Have Gen go over to that character and talk to them going, hey, if we go fast, we can do something, since he's the ultimate tricker. You know, he's the ultimate do what I say, mind reader, fortune teller, psychic man. It works. And then, boom, half their cooldowns cut off. If you're Gilgamesh, you're even more OP. Yay. Next, I have, let me check real quick, Tokyo Ghoul, and I did Rize, because I don't want to be spoiled of Tokyo Ghoul. I know Rize is a ghoul. She is the only other ghoul I know. Her and Kaneki. So I don't want to be spoiled. I'm going with Rize. I don't even know how long she lives or anything. I want to be blind when watching it. Next, I have Tokyo Geass, and I put Lelouch, because how is Lelouch not in here? Now, I don't know what Lelouch does. I've never seen Geass, but how is Lelouch not here? It's Lelouch. He's the main character. I'm a bit confused on that. And then finally, I have Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think Kaiba. Kaiba could just do Blue Eyes White Dragon. And that would be interesting to see. I would really like Kaiba. I would say the Pharaoh, but technically that'd be an upgrade. That'd be like a 6-star version. So Kaiba works. And that's the entire list of every single anime. I know, there's a lot less than you thought there would be, but there's a lot more than you think there would be, you know? Like, you would think there would be tons more, but not as much. So, yeah. That's a lot of anime. So, there's just what I think could be added. Of course, some of the animes I know nothing about, therefore I'm trying not to spoil myself of them, or I just don't care enough to try to find out, like Fairy Tail and Black Clover. So, but the animes I have seen, I picked good choices for them. In my opinion, I think Gin could be really cool. Hisoka, I feel, is needed. Aizen is needed, or Kisaki, but both of those are really cool characters. No idea why I said Orihime at the beginning. Like, whenever I was making a list, because I went smart and went, well, might as well have all of them written down, because there's some animes, like Kokyo Ghoul, where I know none of the characters, and I don't want them just be better versions of pre-existing characters, so yeah. Now, here's my thinking. Do I want to continue this video so then everyone can see how far I get and how much damage I get? Or do I not want to continue this video? I say nah.